So yesterday, one of the videos, that I was recommended among several was videos on this, the PS5 Pro and everybody's negative reaction to it. And after hearing what people have had to say, I don't blame them. I don't blame them and all that. Because, I understand that this is something Sony does, with every generation of consoles. They did it with the PS4, which I have the original PS4 right there. They did it with it by bringing out the PS4 Pro. Xbox has done it. Nintendo, to an extent, has done it. Every company that releases a console of this in previous generations, in some shape or form, have brought out more improved versions. To where basically the software is improved. Certain aspects about it, that people rely on to make the gameplay more immersive is improved. And it's no different here with the PS5 Pro. However, the reason the PS5 Pro is getting such a negative backlash is because of the fact that not only does Sony want to charge $700 for it, when it comes on sale in November, but also the fact that for $700, you're getting a digital console only. And not only that, you're not getting a stand, which came with the original, and you have to pluck down, if you want it, 80 additional bucks for a disk drive that you would have to install yourself. Now, I don't know if the disk drive would be, something that you just, take this off and put it in, or it's an external one, like it's an external, disk drive that you would plug into, like, let's say your computer. I don't know. It might be the first thing I mentioned. But still, not a lot of folks are happy about this, because it's like, okay, you're telling us that all these new specs, if you will, specifications, you're telling us all these new stuff that's added to it, new improvement on ray tracing. You got this new kind of drive in there. Everything that, vastly improves it over the PS5 to make gameplay more immersive, more enjoyable, and more real. You even do comparisons of what it looks like from a 4K, 8K perspective between the PS5 and the PS5 Pro. But what's interesting about that is a lot of folks, they did their own reactions to this. They did to the presentation of the PS5 Pro, not just a full 20-minute presentation, but, the trailer, itself. But they also did reactions to the comparisons, and they're looking at this and they're like, okay, what's the big difference? I don't see no big difference. Because in reality, to them, despite all these new bells and whistles you've added in, or Sony added in, I should say, to, make the PS5 Pro, vastly superior in their eyes over the original PS5, a lot of folks feel that there is no difference. There's none whatsoever. And when they come out and they say that, a vast majority come out and say that, you think, hopefully, that Sony will listen to this feedback and be like, okay, maybe charging this amount for the PS5 Pro isn't the best idea. Especially if it's just a digital version. Because people look at this, this charge, they look at this charge and everything, and they're like, wait a minute. When you released the PS5 in both physical and digital versions, you lessened the cost of the digital version by at least $100, almost $200. And how do I know that? Because one of the first things I bought with my check last year from Kohl's is a PS5 Physical Edition. That's what I did. So I know, the price is a lot more, than the digital version. So people are like, okay, you charge, okay, we can understand the high price for the physical version and and the lesser price for the digital version, but what the F is this? Why are you going back on your word with the digital versions being less than the physical? What is this? And then in addition, you're saying, hey, you need to purchase a separate, physical disk drive to keep playing physical games. It's like, why? Why do this? And I agree, why? Why do this? Why charge for something that should be, advertised for less? It doesn't make any sense, because do they not understand, from a sales figure, that the reason the PS5 sold as good as it did and continuously does so is not because of the great sales the digital version did. No, it's because of the greater sales the physical version did. And you do a comparison and you will see that the physical version, the physical console of the PS5, which, by the way, plays physical disc, was selling outright more, more consoles, more units, than the digital version. So you think they would learn from that, but they're not. And obviously, this is just a trend that's going to continue, because, unfortunately, this is the future, as a lot of people are thinking it is, of gaming, just like it is with movies and music. That's the belief. But here's the thing. Physical media is coming back in a big way. GameStop, believe it or not, despite how you feel about them, is trying to get back into people's good graces by opening up retro stores across the country. And retro stores are about physical gaming. So physical media is still in flux, and it's making a major comeback, slowly but surely. So you think Sony, people that actually, by the way, the overall corporation is in partnership with Disney to release physical Blu-rays and 4Ks of the movies, you think they would learn. You think they would acknowledge that physical media is still very popular and sells better than digital. Yes, having digital is a great aspect, especially when you're on the road or on a plane. I get that. I know that probably better than anybody. But the point is, physical media, especially when you're at home, is more popular. It's more popular in everything in the eyes of a lot of folks. But unfortunately, here's why they're doing this. Here's why they're charging this insane price, which they shouldn't, along with an insane price for a separate disk drive, and probably the same price for a stand, which they should be coming with anyway, or should be adding on anyway. Here's why they're doing this. This goes back to a video that Metal Jesus Rocks did a couple weeks ago on the PS5 on the PlayStation Portal. Basically, the PS5 Portal. He essentially said that the best way that works is you have digital library. You can do the physical stuff, but you got to make sure that someone is nearby to switch out the games for you, or you got to put a game in there that you intend to play even while you're on your trip. That right there is the main reason. It's that and the PSVR. The PSVR 2, which I do intend to get down the line, but it's those reasons. Those are the reasons they want to go the digital route with this, because of the Portal and the VR 2. But hopefully, with the backlash they're getting from the fans right now, they'll acknowledge the mistake they made, and they'll basically, backtrack, and realize, okay, let's delay the release on the digital version of the PS5 Pro and release it alongside a physical version of it, in the future, probably in 2025. That's what I hope. Hopefully what will happen, with the backlash they're getting from this. But let me know what your thoughts are on this, guys, because I do agree that this is an insane price for a digital version. But let me know what your thoughts are. And until then, I am out. Y'all have a good day. But give me your thoughts. Love to hear them.